everybody's audio is okay for us, right?
Yep, we can hear. Our audio is a little, but whatever. We struggle streaming
We
today.
got this.
We struggling today.
I see you. It's me. It's me. It's me. It's me. It's me. It's me, Shell, bitch.
Hey, gente! Welcome back to another week of the It's Me, Shelle podcast. And remember, my job is to make your road to Friday a lot easier.
So good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where in the world you are, mi gente. I hope you had an amazing start to your week. And as always, thank you so much for tuning in, sharing your Monday blues with us. First and foremost, it's Black History Month, right?
Yeah.
That's right. It's Black History Month. And honestly, to me, every day is about Black history. So fuck that. But we got some of our people acting blacker than black, and that's okay too. Okay,
Absolutely.
nothing wrong with that. And I hope you noticed I said us because this week we have a few people with us. So I'll start by welcoming my right-hand man. Well, he's on my left-hand side today. or as he calls me, his rib.
My rib.
And that's my Shani One Kenobi. And just when you thought, well, it's going to get really funny and really raunchy and really fast, what else can Michelle do this episode? How else is she going to surprise us? Well, we have two more amazing guests, and they're the host of the It's On Our Radar podcast, which if you haven't done so already, make sure you tune in. Hello, there are a couple of podcasters and couples in real life, husband and wife, because we got to put respect on their name.
Respect.
We got to put respect on their name because, you know, we do everything real over here. So let's welcome the beautiful husband and wife duo who have everything on their radar and they have real conversations, Marlon and Marie.
Thank you, guys. How are you?
Yes,
How are you?
thank
Thank you for having us on the show.
So
Really
good.
appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm so happy that we're working yet again together. If you guys didn't tune into the episode where Shane and I were on It's On Our Radar, you know, get it together.
That was so much fun.
Yeah, they got to get it together.
That was fun.
So you guys have a brand new baby. And I know it's hard ripping yourselves away from the brand new baby smell. So we really appreciate you guys being on.
It's really addictive.
It is, right? You're like,
It's really addictive.
baby.
Yeah, I'm like tapping the vein. I'm like,
Right. You're like, I need my next fix.
yeah.
Just take it as long as we can. Get it. Yes.
Mhm.
Oh, don't worry. They smell so good. Even when they smell bad, you're like, oh, you're a baby. You smell
baby
so
smell.
good.
Yeah. And diapers and all.
Exactly. So, mi gente, this week we are talking about Valentine's Day. And every time I think about that, I think about the Grinch when he flashes back when he's a baby and he goes, oh, the fires of love. I don't know if you guys remember that.
No.
He like changed his face.
with the voice. Oh my god.
Listen, and then he has like a
totally forgot about that.
right,
Oh,
so, and then he's like in
wow.
love and he shaves with this like makeshift little thing and then he has the patches. To me, that's really Valentine's
That's
Day.
very Valentine's.
Yo, voice acting in your future, man.
Oh, thank you. Stop. Okay, so I like to make everything into like short little acronyms. And trust me, I know I wasn't the first person to do this, but V-Day, right? So
Mhm.
I didn't make that shit up. But when I was thinking about, you know, getting stuff ready for this episode, my mind went to like a really raunchy place. And I'm like, V-Day, why isn't it called like D-Day for dating or C-Day for courting when I was really thinking like Vagina Day, Dick Day, and Conolingus Day. I was just like, this is just so interesting. I mean, am I the only one that thinks
No.
V-Day? Okay.
No, it could be absolutely
No.
Vagina Day.
It is vagina. It really is vagina day. It's
Yeah.
like you get the vagina
I know on that day. That's
on that day.
Yeah,
Vagina
and
is
it's like
delivered.
special vagina. It's not just regular Monday,
Yeah.
Tuesday, Saturday vagina. It's vagina with like glitter in it.
Right. Marlon was, what happened? Go ahead. You know what? No,
What were you saying? No, please.
he was singing the days of the week.
Sorry. I
Oh.
mean, come on, think about it. But let's can we keep it 100?
Yeah, of course.
Vagina makes the world go round.
Okay.
All right, it makes
Okay.
the world go round. All right,
Okay.
it is the breakfast of champions. All right,
Champions.
all right. So if you're not getting into that vagina, I don't know what you're doing.
Right.
Why are you living?
Why are
Are
you here?
living?
All right. So when it
Yeah.
comes down to V-Day, the V-Day is just like it's its own personal altar to say we're going to elevate the particular vagina to the highest piece of quality, and that's what we're doing.
Highest quality.
Highest quality.
Marie and I love
Absolutely.
that we're put on a pedestal right now. So we thank you.
Yes.
We thank you and your vagina.
We
Hallelujah, holla back.
Amen.
You said amen.
Amen.
Wait. Wait. All right, so I like to start with an icebreaker only because this is the first time Marlon and Marie have been on our platform as
That
guests.
is true.
So very, very exciting. But I'll start with something simple since we're talking about Valentine's Day. What does Valentine's Day mean to you? And Marie, we can start with you if that's okay. Or how do you feel? Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yes, absolutely. Oh, okay. So I love Valentine's Day, but I do consider it as like a bonus holiday, not like one of the real holidays because it's like it's a hallmarky, But since being married and in a very serious relationship, it has become less like fluffy and more like a day that I consider to reconnect with my partner. Especially during COVID when no one could really go out. I like ordered special candles and like something to put over the table. And I think Marlon, you made dinner, or
Yeah.
maybe we
Yeah,
ordered
we
something.
no, we made I made a
No,
special dinner.
yeah, okay,
We
okay,
made a special dinner together and set the scene to make it look like we were going to a restaurant and just kind of really set it up. It was one of our most memorable ones because we really created a sense of effort to make this
yep,
one particularly special.
yep. So I do consider it as like a reconnect day where we do something special, different with each other,
Mhm.
and like really lock eyes and maybe say something that I mean it's not our anniversary or near our anniversary, but like just like a check-in because life is so quick and there's so much that we're doing from day to day, week to week, that I do like to check in. Everything's okay, you're good,
Oh, I
is there
love.
anything you need that I'm not doing? Am I basically am I satisfying everything? And then we like to do something like it's a special sexy time.
Oh, I love
Mm.
that.
To which I did buy something for me and I said it was a gift for him and he was like, "No, you just bought something for yourself." He was like,
I
"How is
feel,
that?"
I feel you. Yeah. Like, babe, what you mean? I usually don't wear 12-inch heels outside.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not walking outside in these. This is for you.
She
Fine.
literally bust
Yeah.
them out, and I'm like, this
It's
this
not for
serves
me.
me none. But
I don't know how this is helping me.
okay. I mean,
Also,
I
you're
love to
supposed
see
to
you
leave
in
the
it.
shoes on,
Yeah, I love to see you in it because let me tell you something. My wife has legs for days.
Really?
Oh yeah, she
Well,
was a former professional ice skater, so she's out here with the tone.
But yes, I will
Maria.
say
Hmm.
that's one of my
Hmm.
highlights. When I was dating, I
Let me
knew I
tell you.
had a couple things to highlight, and it was
Mhm.
like the titties and the legs.
Listen,
Okay,
girl, what else we need?
I gotta tell you something. We started truly dating in the winter, so
Hmm.
everything was kind of all wrapped up like a
Covered.
present.
Mhm.
When that weather came out and she
Present.
busted up them legs, I was like, "Oh,
I was
what
waiting
is
for spring.
mm, mm, out here stepping, line stepping?" Ha!
Wow, girl. Oh,
Yes,
so you were
indeed.
smart. You were like, you know what? Winter time is the best time for me. You were covered up, bundled up. Soon as summer hit, you were like, okay, I'm gonna wear this two-piece. He's like, no, you not. Wait, we staying home.
Out here have to bust out the
Absolutely.
long coat. You really
Right.
Put that trench
coat
coat on. Put it on.
put it on.
Go outside.
So, Marlon, how about you?
Valentine's Day is to me is taking away from the basic context because every day can be Valentine's Day if you really truly mean it, to be honest. But when it's this particular day, I do like to piggyback off of what Marie said and really just center back to refocusing on each other, catching up, reconnecting, establishing just, where we are in our space because that moment where you just use it for it's the day of love is really what it's about. Use it for the day of love. Appreciate each other, serve each other, pleasure each other. Whatever you have to do to really just say, hey, this is what it is for me and you and our couple and our world. And I just want to remind you that, I'm here. It's really, I just focus in on just like a really big establishing, just saying, hey, this is a marked moment that we made it to another Valentine's Day. I treat it as almost like another anniversary, like it's another check mark on that,
Mhm.
because think about it this way, a lot of people kind of in the cuffing season area, they kind of avoid this
True.
day per
Yes.
se, you know what I mean?
Like the
So,
plague.
they don't want to make it to the Valentine's Day because once you
They
make it to
don't.
the Valentine's Day, it's
It's
like,
real.
oh, we real.
It's
We're
real.
Oh,
real.
we real. We for real, for real. Oh, okay,
Uh-huh.
okay. I can change my status on you now. So it's
Right,
like,
right.
if you really in your relationship and you make it to Valentine's Day, you're trying to treat it as a respect and like like it's a marked moment.
Yeah.
So I treat it as that. I treat it as a marked moment that we made it to another Valentine's Day, and now we can just celebrate that moment together and move on.
Oh, I love that. How about you, babe? What do
Oh,
you
see, I
feel?
don't have anything that good. I was gonna say Valentine's Day was a good day for me and the missus just to pig out and eat chocolate and have wild freaky sex. Like
That
I,
talking
Oh
too.
man, my man,
I'm just
Right?
saying.
I
I'm just saying.
mean,
I
Kendrick,
did forget to
Kendrick.
mention the chocolate part because I will eat
White
some
chocolate
chocolate.
for her though, because she doesn't like dark chocolate or any other chocolate. It has to be white chocolate.
I
Oh,
like
we
white
are.
chocolate
I
too.
don't like chocolate
I
at all, so all the chocolate goes to her.
Yeah.
really, I love
Mm-mm.
white
Oh,
chocolate.
that's
It's
so
White
good.
chocolate is
terrible.
delicious.
It's
Yeah.
terrible. I'm just like, oh.
Any other chocolates?
I'm
I don't want it. It breaks
like,
me out, stuff like that. And I'm looking at her like, yeah, all right, it breaks you out. White chocolate.
thank you.
Oh, my
Well, for me, honestly, I don't know. So Valentine's Day is really an excuse for me to get stuff. So like
Mhm.
for my loved ones, like really close friends, family members, the girls, like all my kids,
Other girls.
him, I love getting like even if it doesn't have to be anything extravagant because every time I say this, people are like, "Oh my god, you spent so much money." It can literally be the smallest thing, but I
Mhm.
just feel it's so sweet to get something that's unexpected.
Yeah,
Like
I
these
agree.
kids are not expecting their mother or their father to buy them like a little like teddy bear or something like, oh, really? You guys got me this? Like that's so sweet. And then for him, I definitely go all out.
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. But that's how I am. Like I just love like seeing people's faces when they get something that's unexpected, like their
That's nice.
surprise face. I really do. Like I find so much joy in that. And then he
Mm.
appreciates everything. Like I tell you, I could get him a flower I picked from the next door neighbor and be like, oh, I stole this, but it's for you. He'd be like, oh my God, this is the most. And he'll take pictures, he'll put it on a table, he'll do a whole photo shoot for it. And I'm just like, oh, he really did like it. So it's also like a time for me. I mean, I'm always very sweet and I always show my appreciation, but I'm
Mhm.
extra on that day because I
Mhm.
feel like it's called for just to be extra, you know. I
Just
don't
I
know.
agree. I
One
like
of the
that.
things she's not telling you is the fact that it becomes a competition because then she comes out with some crazy gift, and I'm like,
That's not true
oh.
because I was gonna say it later.
This Marlon is the gift champion. I
Really?
have to say, since the beginning of our relationship, when we barely knew each other, he has been oddly like gift specific
Hmm.
with me. And it's like, damn, I don't know, like how long before Christmas, how long before Valentine's Day, how long before my birthday does Marlon start to think about these things? But I would say one Christmas, he put me to shame. And I was like,
Oh,
damn, man, like I could barely, like I was racking my mind. I was running around Macy's and JC Penney's and Target trying to find something for him. And I feel like what I gave him sucked. I didn't really like it. And then I don't even remember what he gave me, but it was something super specific, almost something that had said like, "Damn, I need this, but I don't like want to buy it yet or whatever." And he
Right.
gave it to me, and I was like, So for Valentine's Day, I started looking in January. I started researching in January and listening out to like what are things that he's saying that he needs or he likes or whatever. Anyways, Black Panther had just come out, and I got him like this comic book thingy about Black Panther, and then like a little Black Panther, not a souvenir. What
Funko
would that
Pop.
be called?
Oh, like a bobblehead, like
Mm,
a funk. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
nice.
I
That,
did it up. I did it up, and let me tell you. And then I also got him like a black back massager.
oh, you
I
can
did
never
it up
go wrong.
that year. I was so proud of myself. I was almost like, "Girl,
Oh,
you did that shit." So like,
yeah,
but
that's right.
he's good. He's good. So we almost have that gift like one up thing. Like, what are you gonna
Yeah.
get? Like,
Well, this year, I
That
I'm
got you.
losing. I'm
Oh,
losing.
you're losing this year.
It's so funny that you mentioned that. So we do have like, let's see who's gonna one up each other. And
Mhm.
I remember one year, so I mean, I don't talk about it too much, but I do like practice judo, and I was going to like, yeah. So I was like, I used to practice somewhere in Brooklyn and like start judo. So they gave us the opportunity for like the community's newspaper to shout out anybody you wanted to for Valentine's Day. So I put our picture on their newspaper, and I was like, "Here you go." I was like, "Happy Valentine's Day." He was like, "God damn it." I was like, "Now the whole world knows."
Wow,
Yeah,
that is a
That's
flex.
that's a
That's
good one.
awesome.
That's a
a
good
little
one.
Flex.
something on ching ching. I ain't nothing crazy. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So lovey dovey stuff. So Marlon, Marie, Shane, and I have very similar stories on how we met. And I know you guys are tired of hearing how Shane and I met. So I wanted Marlon Marie to explain or to tell us the story on how they met because it's Valentine's Day and why not?
Why not?
I will start
Okay.
because I'm the one that initiated it essentially.
Okay.
We met on a dating app, and I'll shout out the dating app that was. It was OkCupid at the time. So it
Great.
was very like, yeah.
Because that's where we met. But okay. Continue.
In the early game of OkCupid, not what it is right now.
No, not what it is
Um,
right now.
and we both, after discussing, the details of OkCupid, we were both each other's last shot. Um, and I'm just gonna say, I think I had 2 dates before messaging her that were complete shit, and I was doing one more at the same time that I was talking to her. But I said, you know what? I'm not sure. It might not work out. Let me just give this one the last straw, and then after that, I'm done. I'm just gonna hang my hat up and just be me for a while. So I messaged her, and she liked what I said, and she fell for the charm and the swagger,
Oop,
you know,
oop.
and, and we decided to talk to each other a little bit, and to
A
her
little bit.
dismay, she's saying to me now that I was talking to her too long, but I felt that there was a connection there, and I really was trying to like get to know this person. I was being respectful.
Sure, sure.
Sure, whatever.
Yeah, you were, but then okay. So I would say we spoke on OkCupid for a little bit. He asked me for my phone number. I gave it. Then we were texting for I feel like it was a full month before you
I don't
finally
think it
asked
was a
me
full month.
out.
You out here just extending things to drama.
It felt long. And then he asks me out the weekend of my birthday. So I didn't want to. I mean, I know you didn't know that. It wasn't like on my what would that
And I
thing
don't think it
called?
was on your profile. You
Oh,
didn't put it.
absolutely wouldn't have put my birthday on my profile, but
Right.
whatever. So I was like, shit, like I can't like okay, I watch a lot of Seinfeld, and
Me
one
too.
one of the episodes is that girl, she like goes out with Jerry on her birthday.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I can't have a first date on my birthday, like be a loser like that. So I was like, no, we can't do anything this weekend. Can we do something next weekend? And he was like, okay, sure. So I'm like, damn, it's a whole nother week of like just talking to the thing. I did really like you. I will honestly say, when you messaged me on OkCupid, I had 2 jobs at that point. I was at my second job, and I turned to the person who I was working with, and I was like, I'm about sick. Like, I've had it up to here with this website and these weirdo people.
Yes.
We're getting to, it's getting cold. So like all the funness of going out during the summer, it's past. Like it's cold now. This guy messaged me, what do you think? And I held my phone up and she looked and she was like, no, he looks cute. Like message him back. And I was like, I mean, okay, like, well, I didn't mean like, what do you think about his face? But fine. I was like, I wanted you to read the message because I'm sick of the weirdos. Like I had like I had more than 2 dates, but the last 2 dates, this one guy clearly just wanted to like people watch at this restaurant that he took me to. And while that's okay when you know the person, it's not okay for a first date.
Yeah.
And then some other guy I went out with ended up talking about this other girl that he met on Coffee Meets Bagel or something like that.
Yeah.
And he spent the whole 2 hours talking about her. And I was just like, well, thanks for the pad thai, I guess. I'm gonna just,
Yeah.
have another drink and then go home. It's super weird. Anyways, so I was like, I might need help screening.
Right.
And also, I like Marlon said, this was gonna be my last date, and then I was gonna go to Match because I was thinking, Match you have to pay for. Perhaps people are a little bit more serious on Match. I've
Girl, I have a
always
story
heard it's
from
not.
Match.
Oh, you do?
But go ahead.
I have heard that that's not the case. People on Match are just as shitty and crazy as they are on other websites. But I didn't know back then, and I was hopeful. Hope springs eternal, I guess. Anyways, so she was like, "Yeah, he sounds cool. He sounds cool." So we messaged back and forth. I can't remember what you said, but like I kind of got the sense that you were. Ooh, I know what we started talking about. Game of Thrones. It
Ah.
was the hot new show back then, and
So much soft porn.
this one was a reader because he had read the books.
Ooh.
Now that shows an intensity because
Yes.
those books are not anything to sneeze at.
At all.
Nope, nope. And I was currently reading the books, so I was just like, "Oh crap! Like he's ahead of me. I like that."
Come and get this Westeros.
This was the roast.
Yeah. I was like I said, I was determined to go on this date. I had to postpone it a week. The day of the date, it snowed the day before. There was a snowstorm, which is fine because they clean up New York easy peasy, no problem. However, I was as typical me, Marie, I was late to work. And so I'm huffing it into the office building and I slipped and I fell and I like collided with the elevator and like my knee like hit the thing and I was like, oh my God. So I had a limp all day and I texted him and I was like, I just like showed my ass in the lobby of this building. I fell, I slipped, like I slid. I didn't just fall. I slid into the elevator and like everyone came, the security guard, the people in the elevator, they all had to help me up because I'm a bit of a big girl. So um, and I told him this, and his answer was, "So do you want to postpone?" And I was like, "No, I'm just
Can
telling
I
you like
can
what
I give
happened
some
in the
a little
morning."
I'm
context
just telling you I'm
behind
gonna
this?
limp.
So because of that, I actually had one other date that did the same thing, like just canceled or try to like switch it up the day, the day of. So I'm like, this can't be happening back to back. Like this
Ah,
cannot be. Like we are not doing that. Self love. Like I'm not here for
absolutely.
that. I'm
Yes.
not here for that business. So I was like,
Mm-mm.
if you want to postpone, like give yourself time to heal. But I'm like, no, we're not doing that 2 times in a row. I
Right.
can't. I can't have that. So my energy, I will openly admit, my energy was a little like, all right, this is just fate trying to tell me, yo, fall back. So she said no, 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 and she proceeded to say, no, we're gonna keep this date. We've been waiting too long and things like that. And I was humbled because she did humbly walk and limp herself down to come see me.
Oh.
And I was just like, yo, this is a true trooper. And, throughout our entire date, one of the best first dates I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
Really, honestly
No
and
awkward
truly.
pauses.
None. none whatsoever. It was just an effortless flow. And I did something, and I told her this like way down the line that I never ever did with one of my dates. I was just like, listen, I like to keep the party going. Do you want to go grab a drink after and just like go sit down and just talk and just keep going? And she was just like, oh, well, yes, I would love that. And we're just out here walking the New York streets and just talking and relaxing, even though it's still kind of
You
cold
know,
and
it's cold.
wintry. It was really just a moment. It was
Oh,
a real moment.
It was nice. It was good. It was good. It was a
Yeah,
great first date. Like we've gone back to that restaurant since then, like plenty of times. I
yeah.
mean, Korean barbecue, right? Right.
Yes, Korean barbecue, and we went there the day that I proposed to her as
Yes.
just a full circle moment.
full
Oh,
circle
Yes.
that's
to
Yes.
that.
He did.
beautiful.
He did.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, honey. That's such a pretty story. Because, I mean, ours is a little similar. I mean, I feel like I think we might have found like our soul bonds here, guys. I swear. Because like our story is so similar. It's crazy. So, do you want me to start?
Oh yes, start.
Okay, so we met on OkCupid. And I don't know if I was his last. I'm not sure, but he was definitely my last
She was
because
my last.
I was so tired of like people hitting me up or sending me pictures.
Oh
Like
God,
this
the
one
pictures.
dude, girl, this one dude sent me pictures. He was like all in latex. And listen, ain't nothing wrong with latex, but it has to be like we have to welcome that. Like you can't just send me latex and be like, oh, here you go, girl. No, like I gotta consent to see that. So
And it can't be when we're first starting to talk. That's a
right,
couple
no,
of
like
dates in.
Exactly. Give me
that
like
was
a minute.
I mean,
Shit.
how you
Yeah.
know I'm okay with this?
that was the
like
way he
let's
said
establish
hi.
our kink levels before we start getting into.
I
Thank
don't
you.
get it. I don't get it. I really don't.
So he's like, so are you looking for fun or for love? And I'm like,
Mhm.
this
You're looking
I'm
for
looking for safety.
I I'm looking for
stability.
my safe word. Because I must have clearly lost it. No, so I was like, oh my gosh. So when he messaged me, I was like this close to just deleting the app because I was done. And I didn't even see he messaged me through the app. I saw it through my email.
Ah, yes, yes, yes.
Right. So I saw this email that said hello, and his name was like Sammy the cat.
It wasn't Simic.
It was Sammy the
It
cat.
wasn't Sammy
It
the
was, and I
cat.
looked it up and I showed it to you. So the good thing, and the reason why I was like attracted was because I was just as lazy to leave my fucking name to be Michelle the cat. I was like, yeah, I'm not changing this. I'm like, I have no time to change this. So when I
Right.
saw it, I was like, oh my God, he's just as lazy as I am. How wonder, how great, right? So then all of a sudden, so like I send hello back and he takes like 2 days to respond. So again, I'm like, yeah, this is not going to work because this is weird.
Another dud.
Right. He's acting weird. I mean, 2 days, that's weird. So then again, that same night, again, he's like, he always used to like cut it really close. That same night, he sends a message. He's like, hey, how are you? My name is Shane. What's your name? So I was like, let me see if he even responds. So he responded. Well, I sent, my name is Michelle. Nice to meet you. He responded right away. So I was like, okay, of course, like us girls try to figure things out. I'm like, okay, so maybe he's a night owl. Little did I
Mhm.
know he was still NYPD working the overnight shift. So
So
I
he
was
was
just like,
up.
and he was right.
I was
So
up.
the amount of nights that I spent up
On
all
the fucking
night
phone. Girl.
texting and like talking because that's when he was up. And I had to go to work the next day. And he's just like, oh, I'm
Mm.
just going to go to sleep now. I'm like, this is
Now
crazy.
I'm getting up. Yeah, been
Right.
there.
This is
Been
nuts.
there.
So that's kind of like how we met. And our first date, I remember I had invited two of some people that I knew. I used to work with them.
Bodyguards.
And I told them, okay, this is where I'm going to be. Just have dinner there, you know. And then when I see you, I'm going to be like, oh my God, what are you guys doing here? And that's exactly how it went out. But they were texting me, like, where are you? Are you okay? And I told them, I said, you guys should leave. Don't even come. They're like, well, we're already here. I'm like, no, this is going so great. He's not a weirdo.
Oh,
I'm like, you guys should just leave because I'm gonna feel bad because I'm gonna leave you guys. Like I had already established. I'm like, I'm gonna leave you guys. Like I'm not gonna sit there and have drinks with you guys, especially because he had to work the night and he called out. He said, I never do this because I get in so much trouble. He's like, but I'm not gonna go to work. So he called out. And then that same night we went to a bar in the
The
city.
district.
to get extra like drinks, kind of like you guys. We were like
Mhm.
after dinner, he was like, do you want to go out for drinks somewhere else? I said, sure. And we drove downtown and we had drinks till like 3 in the morning.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we
And,
had that we
You shut down the
that
bar.
was a good
yes,
time.
Damn.
That was my first date.
we did.
Wow.
And
Had a
Oh,
I think the bartender
that
was
was
getting
a good.
drinks because
He
we were
probably
there.
was.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we were just there talking, and I was like, and it was just so fun. So I refused to have him pick me up. So I was waiting for a cab, and he was like,
Mhm.
"Well, I can pick you up." I'm like, "No," because I didn't know he was weird. So I was like, "No, I don't need
Very
him
true.
knowing my address." And
Yeah.
then at the end of the day, because it was like 4 in the morning, he finally drove me
Drove
home.
you home.
So I'm like, "It's okay. You can know where I live now."
No, I
And that's
totally understand that.
right, because it's weird, especially when you meet somebody online. And that's the first thing people
Mhm.
tell you, stranger danger. Don't talk
Yes.
to anybody, don't talk to anybody online.
Yeah.
But finally, he drove me home and it was just
Mhm.
so great.
The funny thing about that is the fact that my coworkers was actually in the place we were at that night.
Yeah.
And boss the next day was like, "So you was out on a date, huh?
Oh shit. That's funny. That's
Damn.
funny.
You
That's
want to call
funny.
out of work, go out on dates, huh?"
We out here getting the snitches get stitches. What we doing?
Yeah.
Right.
Come on, man. That's
And
funny too, because I had to go to work the next day.
Yeah.
But like I had to. Well, I didn't have to go. That was my second job. I went. I had to actually cut our date not short, but I did say like, yo, I gotta go because like my
Mm,
trains was acting funny, and if
yeah,
I didn't get to the train by a certain time, I would have had to take the bus. And of course, I didn't get there, and so I was on a bus, and he texted me. He was like, "Hey, I'm home," and I'm like, "I'm on the bus,"
I'm on the bus.
but it's okay. It was
right.
worth it. It was worth it.
Aw, you guys, we have successful love stories from shady
Mhm.
dating
Oh my goodness, we should like reach out to OkCupid and they should like do a commercial with us.
with
For real. I'm
us.
just saying.
Yes,
They should.
yes,
2% gross income, please.
yes.
Saying.
Hello, like
Okay,
success
Cupid,
stories over
shout
here.
I just want some equity in it. That's it. Give me
No,
a little bit of portion of it.
no, I love how deep Shane got one day. He was like, "Did you know that okay, Cupid, you really have to respond to the survey questions the right way because that's how they match everyone." Like he had this whole story on like how you get matched depending on like how you answer the questions, and that's how
Oh,
they pair you. So he was like, "I bet you answered this for this question." And I'm like, "Oh shit, I did." He goes, "Me too." I'm like, "Oh,
interesting.
That's how
yeah."
they get you.
That's gotta be, I mean, there's gotta be an algorithm, right?
Has
There's
to
Yeah.
got
be.
to be.
Has to be.
Well,
Okay.
just to quickly tell you about Match, this one guy, and listen, I was paying religiously every month. I'm not ashamed to say it. No shame over here.
No.
Religiously every month. And this guy, he was kind of religious. He was a very, very sweet guy, but he became like a stage 5 clinger.
Oh
And
gosh.
I was very lucky. So I gave him like WhatsApp instead of my phone number. And I
Smart.
think it was the best thing I did because he would call me 3, 4 times like in the morning, 5 times in the
No.
afternoon. Like he had these numbers. And then he would be like if I didn't respond, he'd be like, I hope you're not getting tired of me. I just really like you and I see a future. He used to tell me, like, I've been married before, so I know what it is. I'm ready to be a stepdad. And I'm like, dude,
Stage 7.
no, he was intense.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Match scared the shit out of me. I was like,
Red alert.
yeah,
Red alert.
there was no way I matched with this guy at all. Like even his pictures, I was like, nothing about him. And then, I'm not a mean person. So it was very difficult for me to like tell him,
No.
So I was going around, like I was literally pussyfooting around it because I don't like to hurt people's feelings. I don't like to do that. So I'm like, yeah, no, I don't think I'm a good match for you because I just have a lot on my plate.
Oh my God. I've said the same thing. Oh,
Yeah, and
yeah.
it didn't work out. And I remember he had sent me a picture of him and his father was a doctor and he
Okay.
worked in his father's office. I know. So like honestly, if I was that girl, I would
You
have been
would
like,
have just, yep. Hmm.
I would have because he used to tell me, he's like, "Oh, my father wants to meet you." And he's like, "You can have a job for life and you can be director in my father's office. And you don't understand. And we have a summer home here, a winter home here, and we can travel here and we go here every year." So I'm just like,
Stage 8.
yo, I
Oh,
am not that girl.
Like,
I love how you just
the numbers just he's like
yeah,
ding,
no, because
ding,
you leave the
ding.
country with this dude, you might not come
not
back.
coming back.
Stage 9.
So I was
After that, we're getting some Dauber mode right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Oh dear
No,
lordy.
no,
Wow.
he was really, really intense. And the last time I had a conversation with him was he had sent me a picture of him and his cousin. They were playing the piano.
Mhm.
And he was like, I know you think my cousin looks better than I do. Everybody does. I said, yeah.
Oh
This
no.
Do you remember in Kill Bill where they have the psycho sound? Like
Yeah.
that's what you
Yes.
know.
Yeah.
That's what we're getting right now.
Oh man.
It
Oh
was
no.
scary. It was really scary.
You dodged a
You dodged yeah. Like I said, if you left the country with him,
I would
you
have
would no, that would have been it.
not come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, I know you like my oh, anyway, so he's gone. God bless him.
Yes, yes.
Bye.
Hope he found the stage 9 clinger for himself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that definitely wasn't me.
Or is he doing? He might be doing jail time. We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't.
know.
All right, so we established with what V-Day means to us. How do we feel about Valentine's Day now? Because it's a recession, inflation is through the roof.
Jeez.
People are here struggling. People broke. So how are we
Mhm.
feeling about like Valentine's Day today? Because it's definitely different than any Valentine's Day I feel like we've celebrated in the past.
Absolutely. So it
To
could
be
be like
honest,
Valentine's Day on a
yeah.
budget.
It is Valentine's Day on a budget, but I think if anything, this particular Valentine's Day has a lot of emotional weight this time around because I
Mhm.
think for the past 2 years we've been trying to readjust life as we know it.
It's true.
So, and I think within the whole construct of 2023 is just like, all right, things are kind of in a place that we can say, okay, we have a handle on things. So let's rethink what we usually do.
Mhm.
Let's do things with a little bit more meaning. And I think that's what this year really is about. Like 2023 is like do things that mean something. So I think this Valentine's Day is probably going to be with people that really, let's focus on not just the material, but something that means something to each other. Like do something that really fills your spirit more so. That's where my headspace is at.
I agree. Also, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I'm sure all four of us have gone out on Valentine's Day. How much do you actually like being in a restaurant that's super crowded and they're basically rushing you through your meal because there's a line of people um, coming, trying to get in. I don't like going out the day. There was one time now, I'll be honest, me and Marlon, we took off on Valentine's Day. I think this was like the first Sunday we were living together, and
Mm-hmm.
it was Valentine's Day, so we took off of work and we
Mm-hmm.
went out early, like as soon
Mm-hmm.
as the restaurant opened. So that was fine.
Yeah.
Because by the time we were leaving and we were like super full, that's when it started to get really full, full up.
Yep.
That was okay. But I technically don't like going out on a day because it's like Mother's Day. Going out on Mother's Day, you're cramped. There's a whole bunch of mothers. There's someone with a baby that's too small and they're
Mhm.
crying and they're rushing you. They're giving you the check before they even give you the food.
Right.
Like, like I didn't even order. Like,
You can't even order yet.
it's
There's
a
a prefix
lot.
menu here.
Right. Right.
It's a lot. Things come out cold or lukewarm. Like, oh no. I mean, my mother has told me, I think since I became adult, like, don't take me out on Mother's Day. Take me out the next weekend or even the weekend after that. Like, I'm cool. She's like, I just can't stand like the crowds. And I completely understand that. So that's one thing that I will say, like, I don't mind the leftovers from COVID. It's like we don't have to go out that day. And
Right.
even if my gift is a little late or something like that, like I'm super chill. Like that's not even a big deal with me. Cause again, like I said, like it's not like a super, super big holiday for me. I just want to like be with you and do something special that day. Even if we do work, we come home, we do something like just that we wouldn't do normally on a normal Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever.
Right. How about you? What do you think?
I'm a little torn with it because I know you got the recession and everything. You got a lot of things going on, but that doesn't stop my love for you.
No.
That doesn't. That might slow down my pockets though, but that don't stop my love for you. So I think cheesiness. I'm a cheesy dude. I like to do cheesy things. So I think fun little things fun little things like a little gift receipt or something like that for a massage. Because I know you've been asking for massages and stuff like that.
Yeah, because my
Yeah.
back hurt.
Back over to
Now, Shane, I may have to just put in a recommendation here.
Oh
If
God,
you
here we
have the
go.
space, my friend, I will send you the link. Get you a massage table.
Oh, I
Yeah.
already got one.
Yes, my friend. That's
Oh,
my,
I already got one.
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I already
That's
got
what I'm
one.
talking about, brother. That's what I'm talking about, brother.
Oh, that and Mad
Yes.
Baby Oil.
Ooh, let's go.
I'm telling you.
Rub the palms, get it nice and warm.
Know me.
Yes, sir.
That's that baby
So-
oil guy.
They're like, oh, hide the baby oil. He
Hide the
coming in
baby.
again.
Some nice little hot warm baby oil.
Mm-hmm.
Play some slow music.
Absolutely. Get that Maxwell.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my
Play some
goodness.
music so loud.
That's
Ooh,
funny
love.
because we do have.
Mhm.
Yeah, this one ordered one. What was it, 2 years ago or the year before last or something?
Ooh.
Yeah,
Let me
he
tell
breaks
you.
it out.
People walking
I
with
set, I, set,
stats.
I set the scene up. You see those stairs right there? All right, in the background. She came down this stairs. She's like, "What the fuck is this?"
Oh yeah, yeah. The candles
Oh,
going
yes.
around.
Oh yes. Oh,
He set the
yes.
whole scene up. The
Oh,
baby
yes.
making music in the background.
Absolutely, baby
Oh,
made
Love,
music.
yes. Success.
That's what it's about.
That's what you do.
Success.
I was
Let 'em
like,
know.
whoa.
But also, I also listen to my beautiful wife throughout the year because I'm terrible with holidays, birthdays, and everything. And learning from my beautiful wife, I plan out throughout the year. So I start listening and jotting things down January for Christmas gifts. So I
Right.
don't play that. So I always kind of figure out what she wants, what she needs. And I also tend to look at what she's doing because, as her husband, I got to be attentive to what my wife is doing. So I know that she's podcasting and stuff like that. She's growing her business. So I gear a lot of gifts towards that. So I try to be
I
sweet.
love that.
You're so sweet.
I try.
He does, though. He definitely does. All the time. He's always like, oh, surprise. I'm like, oh, okay. And every time I'm like, wow, you're getting better. Because I'm telling you, I dubbed myself the queen of
The
gifts.
queen of gifts.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
She used to be. She used to be.
Well, I am very grateful that we're doing good, although it's pretty, a shitty situation right now. So I'm grateful that I am able to like buy things and splurge, as much as I can on getting stuff. But honestly, we can chill, watch a movie, make each other dinner, have drinks, and I'll be chilling too. Like for me, it's kind of like how you guys are saying it's a moment to connect. So doing all the like going out for dinner and stuff, sometimes I'm like, I really don't even want to. Like, I'd rather just be here in like some skimpy ass pajamas and be like, okay,
Yeah.
let's watch some raunchy movies and laugh and like drink. And we play. So we do have like a lot of like, now that we're married, card games or like sexy card games.
Yeah.
So we pull those out and we're just sitting on the floor in the room with our drinks in our hand and listen, and we called it a night. And
Or if
I
we want to
Perfect.
we'll play Uno.
right. If we really want to get angry, then we just play Uno.
We play Uno.
Oh, you said the
Mhm.
word. You said a word. Oh man.
That game destroys lives.
It does.
It has tested. She has looked at me with a look of like,
Because
yo,
you think
we
you're cute.
real talk. I'm about to smack the shit out you.
They give you that look like, aren't you supposed to love me? That's that look of
You're
hate.
supposed to let me win.
Absolutely not.
No,
Absolutely
that's
not.
the opposite. No.
Absolutely not. When it comes to Uno, I'm smacking you in the mouth with some draw fours. I am
Yeah.
sorry.
And
I
you
am
do.
sorry.
You do. He'd be like,
I am sorry. And then you're gonna
Me
try
too.
you trying to humble me. All right,
Right.
you trying to draw a 2 and a 2, like ha ha ha.
And I'm
Nah,
like,
motherfucker. I got
No,
these 2
thank you.
draw fours.
Right.
Pick up that.
Let's go. I'm terrible. So then when I do it, he gets like, so he's like, it's just a game. I'm like, no, this is the game called life. He's like, oh, he's like, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
I will take the ring. I
Right.
will,
Right.
The ring comes off.
Right.
to-
Right. But that's how I feel. Listen, my home, I feel like being home is our sanctuary.
Yeah.
So if I can like, if it wasn't that we had two of like both our sons are out of the house at this point. So if it wasn't that they were out and about and living their lives, I would definitely just like turn off all cell phones just to kind of disconnect from the outside world and connect, with each other. But it's hard. So
it's hard. Yeah.
we
yeah,
can do
you
whatever
rest-
it is, but our phones will definitely be going off and we're like,
Mhm.
okay.
Gotta
I'll
go back.
be right back. Mi gente, tune into part 2 to hear what Valentine's Day gift ideas we have, if DIY V-Day gifts are corny or not, what thick thighs do to humanity. Marie and I go in on side chicks, and Marlon and Shane go off on their own poetry corner. You don't want to miss it. Make sure you head over to YouTube and subscribe to that YouTube channel. It's itsmi.chelle.podcast while you're at it. I love y'all. Peace.
I see you. It's me. 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 Shell.